What's up, Guardians? Profane here. Thanks for checking out the video. We're entering the 11th week of Season of Defiance, and this week the Glassway Nightfall on Europa enters the weekly rotation. And with it, the Buzzard Kinetic Sidearm will be up for grabs, with Adept versions only being available through the Grandmaster variant of Glassway. The Glassway can be an especially tricky Nightfall to complete on Master or Grandmaster. But there is one fatal flaw to this boss fight that provides you with an extraordinary cheese to make it much easier to conquer on any level of difficulty. Once you've reached the boss arena, you'll find that this room is split into two parts, with smaller rooms on the left and right side. Once upon a time, there was an out-of-bounds glitch within the smaller right room, but this has been patched, so instead you can head to the small room on the left, where you can find this nifty ceiling hole that has been left wide open. You can easily jump into this hole, which leads you into a large cavity in the wall. You can use this as a means to hide out when champions and wyverns spawn in. And if you can lure the boss to the far side of the room, you can even use this cavity to get a few cheap shots in on the boss. Since a lot of the enemies will run straight through the corridor below, you can easily funnel your enemies in and unleash havoc with a few good void grenades or wither horde shots. This will make for a great spot to send a lower level guardian who's being carried, but it's important that you choose the right timing when jumping up into the hole, as you don't want to get bombarded by enemies when you're jumping up in. Before jumping into this week's Grandmaster version of Glassway, it's important to keep in mind that you will be facing Fallen and Vex enemies, with 12 barrier champions and 14 overloads. To counter these champions, I would recommend the use of Osteostriga, the Wishender, Laymanarch, Quicksilver Storm, Tycho's Divination, Ariana's Vow, or the Divinity. All of these will make excellent exotic choices this week. Your enemies will utilize Solar and Arc shields, and your enemies will receive a boost in Void damage. Since there's an asinine amount of snipers in this Nightfall, I would advise to use sniper resistance mods, along with solar and void resistance. Strand builds continue to excel in the endgame of Season of Defiance, especially when utilizing suspension effects. With that being said, a Hunter Tether, Warlock Well, and Titan Bubble can be highly effective towards keeping your team alive. While the Glassway can certainly be a challenge, by utilizing the abundance of rock structures for cover and keeping a distance, you should be able to make pretty easy work out of this week's Nightfall, especially with the use of the boss cheese in the final room. This will be a great week to farm the Glassway, as the Buzzard Kinetic Sidearm provides some extremely unique traits that you don't typically find on sidearms, including kinetic tremors. Sidearms recently saw a buff in damage against PvE combatants, which makes it a perfect time to grab a good god roll of the Buzzard. And with that being said, I wish you all the best and luck throughout this week and throughout the rest of Season of Defiance. Thank you as always for checking out today's video. If you enjoyed, found it helpful, then be sure to hit that like button below, along with the subscribe button if you're new. Both are greatly appreciated and both really do help support the channel. And until next time, Guardians, this has been Profane, wishing you all some happy hunting.